Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Taco Imposters for Saturday, April 6th, 2024. Man, it's 6 a.m. I was up at an hour ago. For some reason, I've been getting up really early lately. For some bizarre reason, I have no idea why. But yeah, so my friend wasn't there on Wednesday, so I'm gonna see him tonight. He's coming for dinner. Ho ho ho! Can't wait to see him again. God, he helped me through a lot of stuff. That guy's good friend, very good friend. He's been in Italy for a month. Man, oh boy. Good guy. Love that guy. Best friend, probably. Because my other two best friends just dropped off the face of the earth. One, I can guess why they might have stopped talking to me, but the other one, I have no idea. Because I was baffled because he was a very big Christian, and he used to go to my old church, right? And so for a long time, I thought, okay, he's gonna be a Christian for the rest of his life. He's a great guy. And then I was baffled when I came back to 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 young adults there, and it's like, holy crap! There's like literally, I'm like, what? He's not here? That blew my mind. I'm like, whoa, what? He's not here? I thought he was gonna be one of those people who would have loved doing that stuff, but no, apparently not. So I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. No, 'cause he was a big guy too, like a big Christian guy who loved that kind of stuff, and loved Bible studies and loved that kind of stuff, and wanted to like, and it's like, no, just none of it. Weird, so bizarre. 'Cause no offense, like, no, sorry, I don't know why I said no offense, but like seriously, like I was like so baffled. I was like, what the heck, really? Why? You don't? You of all people are not gonna come back. That was surprising to me. His sister, I could deal with because he had a sister and she didn't like the whole Christianity thing, or just kind of fell out of favor with it because nobody kept up with her. And I wouldn't be surprised if she was gay. I wouldn't be surprised if she was lesbian. I don't, I'm just saying like or bi or whatever that. I'm just saying like she was always tomboy, very much tomboy. And the other problem with that is if you don't have friends to keep you in that loop of people, that's where you lose people. There's another girl that I used to know that completely went all LGBTQ, T, trans, and non-binary, and bi, and all that crap. And I'm like, she was a big one too, but she was a big Christian too. But but the thing there was exactly the same thing. You don't have people to keep you in check with no, yes, you're stupid, basically. No, you're an idiot. Well, then you're gonna fall off and be like, I don't care. And you're gonna think, well, the world. It's so much easier to just be in the world and do whatever I want. I feel the way I feel because that's how I am. God's an idiot. It's like what? Because it's the thing. It's not that you stop believing there's a God. You kind of know there's a God, and I think most people know there's a God and just don't care, which is weird, but okay. Especially when you're so gung ho about something, and then eventually you become this. Also, they are very much conservative, like goody two shoes kind of people, where they never did anything wrong. I'm saying my best friend and his sister, just never did anything wrong. They were great people, and now they're like the complete opposite of that. They swear like a gosh darn sailor, or she swears like a gosh darn sailor. Like, not even joking, it's crazy. And then she never even wanted to say shut up as a child. I'm like, oh, what? Like, shut up. But you put the two together, shut up, forget it, can't say it. She was so, like, she never allowed the internet. So, they were like, oh, you can't touch, like, the internet. No, 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 that's like, of the devil. No, Facebook, that's of the devil. Instagram, that's of the devil. And now they're completely on both of those things, which is really bizarre. I thought you were going to be like me, who's like, no, 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 fuck this crap. I'm never using it because it's stupid. But anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, so personally, in my opinion, at least, I'm just like, what? How did you turn from? But again, the people, a lot of Christians, who, a lot of Christians who grow up very conservatively, like limited, turn out to be the complete opposite of that as an adult. Somebody came to me and said, and not even just the opposite, Christian, just completely non-Christian, because somebody said that to me once, and like, I told him my testimony, right? And he was just like, "Oh, good, you're still a Christian," because a lot of people don't stay Christian when they grow up from that kind of a household, like a family, like that kind of a growing up, that kind of a um raising. What do you call it when a growing up? What do you call it? You know, a way of being raised. It's like, yeah, I know loads of people like that. No, not that they're not Christian, but they're just completely the opposite of like what. Some of them, may as well be a hoe, man. May as well be a hoe, you know. Some of them. Other ones, it's like you were never allowed to do, say, eat, watch. saying why they, any of that stuff, and now you're just like doing it. What the heck? But that's the other problem, though. Or here's the thing: you get into life, and you kind of just go, well, of course they want experience. Like it's the same thing as the Rumspringa, I think is what it's called. The I don't know if that's right, but so don't quote me on that. But it's when the Amish give the 18-year-old kids, like 18-year-olds, an opportunity to like go into the world. I think it's called Rumspringer, where like you can choose to stay Amish or just leave. And more liberal Amish, more New World Amish do it. The old order Amish just New Order Amish do it, but the old order Amish forget it. They're like, no, we just don't want that at all, which is fair. I don't blame them. They want to keep their people as much as they can because they're very traditional and very much traditions. Like, well, if they did it this way, it's gotta be the right way to do it because it's been done for so long. But then you realize, yeah, you know how things just change. You know how like Judaism changed completely when Jesus died, and everyone was like, "Oh shit! Now we have something else called Christianity, where we follow Jesus, where Jesus, okay, is now the center of everything, and we follow him because he saved all our lives." That's an you know, so not that we give him a choice, but I'm saying it's like they get into the world and kind of realize, oh, there's more to the world than just very highly conservative old order like Mormonism, basically. Because every Christian I knew who was at least homeschooled, they were all Mormon. They all looked Mormon. They all sounded Mormon. They all were very conservative, very like strict, like Bible. You only did if it wasn't in the Bible, you couldn't sing it. If it wasn't Christian, you couldn't interact with it. You read your Bible every day. The only book you ever read was your Bible in Narnia. That's the weird thing. Yeah. So yeah, what were they gonna say? Yeah. So okay. But like, so some people it's like, okay, I can deal with that. Other people it's like, really, you don't care, or at least you're not connected to the church that you thought was like your second home. There were a few places. There was like summer camp. There was the church we did day camp at, which was also baffling when they weren't at. But then I realized, oh, they're at the other thing. Okay, which is at summer camp. So summer camp, then there's the day thing we did day camp at, and then there was his school, and then there was church. And I'm like, those places he always considered like his home away from home. Like if I had to go somewhere else outside of home, like I was kicked out or something, I'd go to one of these places because it's like just so comforting. I'm like, okay, sure, but no, like just no. I'm like, wow. The year he did not go to co-ed, which is our like teenage 13 to 12 to 18. I'm like, holy moly. When he didn't go that year, I'm like, no way. No way. No way. I don't believe this. I don't believe it. And then when he didn't go to the end of year like barbecue at the day camp, I'm like, no way. But that was because he was at camp. But and then when he didn't go to church again, I'm like, no way. No way. You love that place with a passion. You thought that place was your home away from home. What are you doing here, man? It's weird. But some people just well, that's the other thing. My friend, my best friend, my current best friend, said a lot of people move downtown, go do all the things that are. It's like okay, it's like England, right? There's way more stuff to do in London than there is to do in any other part of the country. Not that there's nothing to do anywhere else, but I'm just saying like there's a lot more to do in London, right? So everybody goes and gets a job in London, goes and moves to London. So for us, it's like you go from West Island, which is where everybody is and where the church is, to he lives in Saint Laurent or lived. I don't even know if he still lives there. I think he lives downtown now. But and then everybody just moves downtown because like there's so much more to do downtown. Everybody likes their downtown. They don't want to move far like close to it. People love downtown. My I have another friend who moved downtown in the last fall, and um yeah, he loves downtown. He thinks downtown. My friend whose retreat we were at, she wants to move downtown to Montreal because she's like, why am I here? Also, once she gets it moves out, it's like I'm gonna move there. I'm like, okay, that's good. That makes sense. So yeah, people like it down. And he was making a point of like, well, why would they want to come all the way out here where there's nothing, all the way out to West Island where there's nothing that they really want, and they have to go far. It's like an hour. It's like almost an hour of a bus ride or a car ride. It's not close. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing, but yeah, okay. Convenience. It's all convenience. You live downtown. You go to school downtown. You work downtown. Might as well go to church downtown. You'll find a good church downtown, no? Right? I'm not saying, I don't blame them. Convenient. I'm just saying, like, but you were so connected to said place that now you're just like, whatever. I don't know. In my opinion, it's weird, but, whatever. What are you going to do? In my opinion, I feel like it's very bizarre, but what are you gonna do, right? I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm just saying it's very like surprised. I'm very confused, surprised and confused. Really? I'm confused why you wouldn't want to be here. Like you love this place. The worst is when they start treating it like I'm just here for whatever and I don't care anymore. It's like, what? You love this place? I don't understand, but okay, sure. And I don't know if it's completely warranted for some whatever reason. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe it's because this, that, and the other thing. But what I'm saying is, I'm just baffled as to these certain people just stop going to certain things. They're like, what? You loved these places. You loved this event. You loved this. Especially people who you thought were like the biggest Christians, and then you just one day just find out, yeah, no, they're not Christian anymore. It's like, what? Or they just, I mean, they are Christian because I believe the same thing that the previous, actually two before him, for the current uh, general director at summer camp, said, the one that everyone liked. Well, yeah, he says, when you come to me and say stuff like, "Oh, your kid's going to camp now," and you were at camp, and he goes, "Oh, how's Christianity going? How's your walk with spirit?" He goes, "Oh, I'm not Christian anymore." It's like, no, you're Christian. You're just a terrible Christian because you can't not be Christian. That's not how that works. Unless, because you can argue you never were Christian, so there's that. But the other thing there is, no, you never stopped being Christian. Here's the thing: if you accepted Jesus into your heart, if you acknowledge Jesus as Lord and Savior and accepted Jesus into your heart, and then professed it with your mouth, and potentially got baptized. I don't know if I don't know if baptism is like a locking point, like a. I was going to do the Netflix. Dun-dun. Anyway, right? Then yeah, there's no. It goes. I have decided to follow Jesus. There's a song. There's a worship song goes. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back. No turning back. It's like, well, yeah, no, you're done. That's it. Forward to Jesus. And if you don't want Jesus, well, you're a terrible Christian, which is fair. You are a terrible Christian. But look, so those people were like, oh, I fell out of favor. No, you didn't. You're not a Christian. You're a terrible Christian. And some people I can see why they fell out of favor. Nobody kept up with them and said and caught their bluff or caught their bullshit. Like, oh, it's baloney. That's baloney. Nah, 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 no. That's a sin. Stop doing that now. That's of the world. Stop that. Now, I'm not saying of the world like Amish of the world, but I'm saying of the world like, dude, that's not what we should be doing as Christians. And that's a problem. And they don't have anywhere to vent their grievances, air their grievances they have with Christianity. That's the other problem too. They didn't have anywhere to air their grievances with Christianity, and so they just left it and went, "This is stupid." So the girl I know who's like LGBTQT PT whatever alphabet soup, right? Now part of alphabet soup. She had nowhere to air her grievances as to what happened. She had the same problem I did, but I'm still Christian. Community is bullcrap. They don't want to accept me for me. It's like, well, okay, look. First of all, accepting you for you as changing to alphabets to being part of the alphabet soup is not what us Christians. We're never going to do that. No, we're going to hate the sinner, but we're gonna love the sinner, hate the sin. You're sinning. You are sinning. I'm going to love you, but you're sinning right now. You're going against what God wants. I mean, hey, we'll love you. And she came once to young adults, aired her whatever, said a few things here and there, and it was just like, I'll pick. And what I picked up from her was she's one of those people where it's like, I'll pick and choose what I like about Christianity. It's like a universalist. You know the universalist? They take a little bit of everything. So you can have a little bit of atheism, but a little bit of Satanism, and a little bit of Catholicism, and a little bit of Buddhism, and a little bit of Islam, and a little bit of Judaism, and a little bit of Protestantism, and a little bit of Lutheranism, and a little bit of evangelical, and a little bit of Pentecostal, and a little bit of Baptist, and a little bit of Anglican, and a little bit of Taoism, and a little bit of I don't know. Anyway, and there's lots, and that's what universalism is. It's accept everything exactly the way it is, and everybody can have everything. You can just pick a little bit of everything you want. So people who take the Bible and just go, I like this part of the Bible and that part of the Bible and this part of the Bible and that part of the Bible. The what's his name? Thomas Jefferson? No, the other guy. Benjamin Franklin. Edition of the Bible where it's like, yeah, whatever, who cares? Like, I'll just pull whatever I want out of the Bible. Because, I'll just pull whatever I want out of the Bible because the Bible is just great, and I only like certain parts. The bad parts that don't make sense or the things that I can't you know, figure out or whatever. I don't know, right? It's like, well, whatever. Like it's like, no, that's not how this works. You need places to air your grievances, and you need people to help you along. You need accountability partners. If you're sinning every day, you're gonna get eaten by the sin. If you're sinning every day and you've not like fully understood the weight of that sin, and you haven't realized that Jesus died for your sins, and now you're not in bondage to said sin, and you have accountability partners who say no, look, you whatever, you lusting over someone, are you watching porn, are you being angry, are you doing this, are you doing that, are you being stealing, are you know murdering, whatever your sin is, right? If you don't have an accountability partner to say, whoa, don't do that, you know, well then yeah, you're gonna keep doing it. You're gonna get eaten by the sin, and you're gonna think, oh, sin's fine, or these things like or just not even just sin per se, just doing things that like no, God doesn't like that. LGBT, the alphabet soup, bad, very bad. Being you, saying all these stupid things like "oh, you be you" or "do as your heart feels" or all that crappy um motivational self help books that are absolute garbage. I'm reading one called "Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway," and it's very much. I like the first idea that she has, where it's like you want to get better at something, you have to do it. It's not you're not gonna magically wake up. You're not gonna magically wake up one day and go, "Bam, I can do that now," because one day I just turned. It ended up just being I turned into this. Bam, I could just do it now. It's like no, that's not how this works. You actually have to figure out like you actually have to do it to get better at it. You can play back. I was listening to a podcast by Steven from CoffeeZilla, and he's interviewing some guy. This is long ago, 2019, 2018, somewhere around there. And he just goes, you can know all the math, all the geometry for basketball, right? And you could, in theory, be the best basketball player because you know all the theory how to be great at basketball. But if you don't actually go play basketball, you'll never be good at basketball. You can know all the theory for one thing, like I can know all the theory to drive a car. But if you never drive a car, you'll never get good at driving a car. Or all the theory all the theory for music, right? You can know all the music theory, but if you don't actually know how to play a musical instrument, if you can't physically put your hands together to play the guitar or play the piano or play and sing, that like you'll never be good at music ever. It's like this whole. Oh, speaking of that, I thought that playing the ukulele and singing would have been the hardest thing for me. My brain wouldn't connect. No, what's harder for me is playing the piano with two hands because I started singing it in 2022. In September of 2022, I started singing and playing, right? Ukulele, because I never really did. I never learned how to play. Also, another thing about that is, it was like that. Like, a switch flipped in my head, and I was like, bam, I can play this real easily. I like knew not every chord, but I knew the three chords, and then I learned like a few more, and I'm like, man, this is easy. So that like learning curve I got past it. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so it was the easiest thing for me ever. I started singing and playing at the same time. I'm like, wow, this is the easiest. Now I know a few songs, but I know one song. Okay, I know one song by heart, and I can do it with my eyes closed. Isn't that weird? Isn't that crazy? But yeah. So yeah, go back to the things. You need accountability partners, or else. Yes, as it says, tell your brothers and sisters of the sins you are facing, so that you can, you know, break free of the bondage of the sin. Otherwise, nobody knows what's happening, and you're just trying to do it on your own, and it's a bit of what's it called? Not self control. What do you call it? Well, that's too, but um, quitting cold turkey. What's it called when you willpower? You have willpower, and this doesn't work. I saw a sign that used to be outside of my doctor's office, right? My doctor's office, and it was basically something like, willpower only works so well. You have to get real help, right? Willpower only works so well, and you need real help, which is fair. You do need real help. So that's the sad thing about it. It's like, what? Why? I don't understand. But some people, it's like, okay, it makes sense. And other people, it's like, you are not. Although, that's the thing. I don't know if this person, like my previous best friend, right, my old best friend, is going to a church downtown. I have no idea. I just assume he is, but I don't know that. But because the thing with me is, it's like, well, I don't know what happened to that guy. Just stop talking to me. It may be a mutual falling out, but I think he doesn't like me. I don't know. Because I was never doing anything super hard, right? And he was all this hard. I had a hard life, and I lost this, and I lost that, and I had to do with this. And it's like, okay, good for you. Like, we all have our demons to deal with. What are you talking about? We all have our struggles. Nobody's life is hunky dory, easy, sitting on our asses, getting fed off a silver platter with infinite money and whatever the hell we please, right? Like, no, whatever we want. Like, no, do whatever the hell we please and get whatever we want. It's not how it works. Every single person on the face of the planet has to deal with something, struggles of some kind. So don't give me that bullcrap. I'm just saying, like, he felt that way and he probably just left associating with me. Also, COVID just caused the whole thing of like people like getting distant, and then then you realize who's your real friend, because within COVID you realize, okay, well, oh shit, you realize like within COVID you realize, oh wow, it's really not um like, oh, we really weren't, or we're not gonna stay friends because we're not good through the hard times. Or you come out of COVID and go, oh wow, you really weren't my friend, were you? No, you were just bored. I met a few people during COVID, and they're fine people. Or he might have realized the same I realized. Community is a bunch of horse hockey. The Christian community is a bunch of horse hockey. Like my friend who was in Italy for my current best friend who was in Italy for a month, came back, or right before he left, he said, "I've met so many better people who are more communal, more open, more fellowship, more hospitable, more better here in Italy, where their first language, we do not have share the same first language, and we don't, and they're not particularly Christian, than I do back home, where I try and go into a bunch of Christian groups and they're just garbage. Like, it's a bunch of horse hockey. I'm like, see, now you see my point. Now you see what I'm saying. Christian, at least Protestant Christian, because the Catholics at least fake it and make it look like a country club. Or like make it look like they have words together, like there's a community. The Protestants, forget it. They're bullshit. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it right now, it's all baloney. It's a bunch of baloney. I'm not saying this to complain, because I have a very good community of young adults. I'm just saying, I'm trying to explain that, like, no, this is how this works. I've been around the block a few times, and if you want to get into Christianity, you'll realize, okay, find a good group of people, because they exist. Like, there's an Arab church near my house, and my friend keeps saying, go back to it, go back, because we used to go. Me and my friend used to go. And then it's like, go back, go back, go back, go back. And I'm like, I probably should, because they're the closest thing I ever got to, like, feeling like a community. Because every other community was bullcrap. Whether it was my church, my summer camp, my day camp, church, summer camp, day camp, what else? What was it? No, well, communities. What was it? I was going to say something. I was about to say something. Dang it. Doesn't matter. It's all baloney. Oh, young adults retreat. No, retreat. Young adults conferences. Rallies. Young adult rallies. It's all baloney. Nobody cares. And you'll get the one or two people here and there, but you know it's this whole like, I don't want to talk to you, especially because it's a male talking to a male. I don't want to talk to you. You don't want to talk to me, but I have to do this because socially you're standing there. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna let him stand there. So, right? And I'm like, no, because that's the other thing about socializing, for me at least. Easier to talk to females than males. I've said this before. I'm sure I've said this before. And it's because the males, there's a bunch of baloney. Like, we have to like have our reason to talk to each other. With females just walk up to you and be like, "Hey, I want to meet you and get to know you." I'm like, "No, yeah." Whereas the guy's like, "Okay, why are we talking?" And we can tell really quickly, both of us, both parties as a male, if they're both male, can realize really quickly, can figure out really quickly. I don't want to talk to you. You don't want to talk to me. Got it. Why are we talking right now? Go get out of here. Like, I've had certain conversations, certain circumstances where we've met, and we, like, halfway through conversation where like, goodbye, goodbye. I don't want to talk to you. You don't talk to me. Goodbye. Get out. Because that's not, you know. So at least for me, at least that's what I figured out. But yeah, like, and that's the other problem with Christianity. There, there might the people who want to like run away, not run away, but like leave Christianity or just not care about Christianity. It's because like, well, some people, okay. And I'm not saying it's justified, but like it's a true or it's a good reason, but they see it and go, sure, it's all baloney, like, or no, I was gonna say judgmental. It's like, what? Yeah, okay, sure. Or it's baloney. Like, there's no community here. Bull crap. I've had a better community because the one girl who's in the alphabet soup group is like, well, I've had better community. Have had better communities, right? I've better people, met better people that accept me outside of Christianity. I'm like, I don't blame you. I've been saying for years. I've been saying for what, 10 years now? Maybe 5, 7 years, 10 years, almost 10 years now. Christian Protestant Christian community is bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Bullshit. It's stupid. It's bullshit, and it doesn't work well. It's a lie. It's a lie. Whether I don't care where it is, your church, your school, or your church, your summer camp, your Christian summer camp, your Christian day camp, young adults rally, rally. Doesn't matter what it is. It's all baloney. So I don't blame people like that. That's why you got to find the few people, the few outliers who are like gold star people. Like, no, these are great people. My best friend. I got a few people here and there, maybe like 5. That's amazing. It's great. It's great. And I've had more girls walk up to me and talk to me than guys. And when I talk to the girls, it's like, oh, I like this is good because this is natural and real. The other one's like bullcrap, where it's like, no, this is stupid, baloney. I don't like it. Because as guys, we can figure out we don't want to talk to each other. Why are we talking to each other? We're doing this just to be polite. We're doing this just to be polite, right? We don't need. Also, we don't need this. We have our friends we want. But I've looked there and I went, because the guy walked up to me once and said, "Why are you standing alone?" And I go, "Well, because I know everybody. I know at least one person in every group, and I'm pretty sure that night I did that month I did in every group. But can I actually walk up to them and talk to them?" I went, "No," because I have okay. I don't know if I ever said this before, but I have this like thing where I have this PTSD of how, because in high school, okay, I used to be the kid who would try and get into every like social group. Like, oh, I can walk in that social group. I know at least one person in there, whether that's my brother or it's some other person I know. And they would always like I remember like whenever I'd leave that group, I'd look back and they'd have this look like I think my brother even said that to either me or my parents or something. It's like he's a weirdo who just walks in and just leaves, and then they all ask, "What the hell was that all about?" He said, "No, not a word." So I have this PTSD of like, am I allowed to be in this social situation? Am I allowed to be in this group? Like, I don't know people well enough, right? And there's nobody accepting me going, "Hey, come into our group. Hey, talk. Hey, come on. Come into our social circle." I've had that before. But the other problem is, but the problem with that is, I've had that happen once or twice. But the person who was in there that I actually knew, because it was like a group of people, like come to our social group, and then I don't know anybody, but I know at least one person. But that one person who I know just leaves and dips, and I'm like, I don't know what to do now. What the freaking heck, man? No, stop. Huh? What? What am I supposed to do now? Don't do this to me. I'm not a social person who will go meet people. Again, my profile, my Instagram bio used to be my Instagram bio used to be I will never be the person who walks into a party and talks to everybody. No, never. I will sit there, wait for someone to talk to me. Every single month, I've never, ever gone up to anybody. I pick the empty table and everyone comes to me. Unless there's people that I already know, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go to our group from our church. Other than that, though, I'll never actually, like, do that. I'll never go up to people. Never, 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 never. That's not me. I said to my mother, I was at a retreat, and I texted my mother. I went, natural and organic socialization is a foreign concept to me. I don't understand it. I don't know how you people can walk up to other people and be like, "Hi," and then just like talk to them. Especially if they're female, forget it. Me going up to a female, I go, blah, 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 you female.
You know, it doesn't work. I'll never do that because I'll never be that person. I sit there in that chair and I go, I shouldn't exist in this form. Like I shouldn't be here alone. But then I realize, well, that's all on you, stupid, right? Because my friend said to my other friend when she said something like, "Well, how are you going to stop?" This is when the dinners was going to start. How are you going to stop the ostracization, the cliques that are being created? And it's like, well, don't. Well, we're not. We're not going to let it happen. And I basically turned around and said, "Bullshit, man. Bullshit. I've been here long enough. I've been around the block longer than you have. Because I have been there longer than he has. He's a new pastor." And I'm like, "No, no, it will happen. Here's it will happen. And how are you going to fix it?" But my other friend said, "Well, just go be social." I was like, "Yeah, well, that doesn't help this situation." It's like, well, no, but I think he's right. No one's gonna come up to you sitting there alone, just because. Like it doesn't work because everybody has their little clique of people and they're comfortable with it, right? And so they're very comfortable at. Well, I like my little clique of people and I'll stick with my little clique of people and I'm good. Thank you very much. There's a few people here and there who walk up to everybody and talk to you. Not that they'll talk to you for super long, but definitely enough people to be like, well, okay, or enough, And it's good. You need everybody like that. She's better than the people who actually run the damn thing, who are volunteering at the damn thing. So like for me at least, I'm like, oh, God, because that's the problem. With that, I feel like, okay, well, can we just not? Can we just like please just a sec, do this properly? Meaning, can you just like get a person or get a few people, maybe 3 to 5 people, and tell them walk around and go meet people because they feel alone. They're you're only there either because a friend invited them, or because their sibling is there, and their sibling is a social butterfly, right? Right? And then they're stuck with either being by their side because they don't know what to do and they don't know anybody, or just walking around being like, well, or sitting there alone being like, I don't know what to do. But so that's easily fixable. So I can tell the guy who's running because I know the guy's running and I've known him for a long time. I've known him since he was like probably 10 or 11. But what I'm saying is maybe 12. What I'm saying is no, much before that. But because what I'm saying is I don't blame the guy who said that. I think the guy's kind of right. Because my friend's making that point too. He's like, well, we got to get better at being social. Like that's just it. There's nothing we can do. Like, and I'm like, well, I don't think he's wrong because I don't think that the guy's wrong when I was telling my best friend. Because think about it, right? No one's gonna be social for you. No one's gonna go and say, well, I'm gonna be social for you, right? No, of course not. You're you, and no one's gonna come up to you necessarily and be like, hey, per se. If you want to get with, now I'm saying like opposite gender person, but also if you want to have friends from these things, why don't you got to go up to people and walk up to them. I mean, there's been a few people here and there that have come up to me and been like, what do you call it? Consistently said, hey, how you doing? How's life? But 99% of the people there do not do that because they look at it and go, well, I got my friends, and I don't care what you care. I don't care what you have, whether you have friends or not. I don't give a damn what you care. I'm fine with mine, and that's it. Like they're like, and I don't need to make new friends. It's like, well, okay, bring the churches together is what the guy who runs it. His thing, the first one that he did, he was like, I'm here to bring the churches together, and I'm like, you're gonna fix the problem of churches, not liking each other and whatever. Nah, it's not gonna happen. But second of all, it's like, yeah, but none of these churches come together. I don't know. You really doing this? You think that's gonna work? You think that the churches are gonna, associate with each other? Hell no. Because what happens is, I told my best friend who's there. He's been to 2 of them, and I've been to 26 of them. I think 27 of them, almost 24. So actually, no. You know what? Yeah, no. It must have been like 22 or something. Yeah, yeah, 20, 20. Yeah, I've been to 22. This will be 20. This one will be 22. This one will be 20. So I've been to 21 of them. And to be honest, like I said to him, do you get the feeling, or do you notice that people just stick to their own groups at this thing? He's like, yeah, heck yeah, yeah, of course yeah, oh yeah. I'm like, God, man, that's so stupid. Aren't you supposed to socialize with people? Also, okay, be a leader, be a volunteer, whose sole job is to take people. Now, don't do it awkwardly, and don't do it if they don't want to, and don't do it if it's like really like, oh no, I don't want to. Please leave me alone. But let me just do that. Take it and go. you're coming to this table, and we're going to meet new people. Force them. Because that's the other problem. If you don't force someone like me to go and meet new people, I never will. I'll sit there. I'll sit there in the corner of the room or sit there on the chair alone, being like, "No, I'm fine, thank you very much." Because you also okay. My mother made the point that my brother had the same problem, but he got out of it. You know, well, he got out of it because he was very popular. He was a popular kid in high school, and so he had all the girls around him. Oh, we love you. It's like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Stop this. Because I'm never going to be that person, and I'm going to be the weirdo who everyone thinks is a freak. But like, you come off as like hate the world, don't talk to me, I never want to associate with this people. It's like you gotta come off more like friendly and like I'm like, no, you're right. That's fair. No, you're right. I was like, Ma, you're right, and she's like, of course I'm right, because she's like, I was that person who didn't want to do anything and was introverted and was the shyest person. I'm like, you? She's like, yeah, but you know how I got over that? I go, how? I learned and I worked through it, and it just, eventually started coming natural to me and started feeling like I could do it. So that's the thing. I have this PTSD of like, can I walk into any of these? I can walk into any of these situations, any of these groups. But would I be accepted? And I don't know. Probably not. They'd be like, "What are you doing here?" Also, I don't know how to contribute to the conversation. The problem is I don't know how to contribute to the conversation because like I'm in that whole like, I don't know, man. That's the problem. I don't know. I really don't know how to. Because that's what bit me in the butt. That's what bit me in the butt at the retreat. I screwed myself over. The girl doesn't want to be friends with me anymore because, okay, it was because I was staring at her. But the last thing that happened was we were having a conversation. Well, I wasn't having a conversation. That's the problem. She was having a conversation with someone, and him and her were having this really deep theological conversation where I was just sitting there listening to this conversation going, this is the most interesting conversation I've ever heard in my life. This is so cool. I like this a lot. But I don't know how to deal, like, I don't know how to contribute to the conversation because I'm not as theologically sound as either one of you two people. And it's like, well, and it doesn't help because she thought I was weird just sitting there staring at her. So it's like, oh my god. But I'm like, but I don't know how to add to the conversation. It's like, oh god. Well, at least I know that, at least you know what to do next time. Ask questions, do things, contribute. Don't look like a weirdo. Like, if you're going to look, stare at the person, at least do it because you're talking to them. Anyway, there's a lot of things that I did that I realize now are stupid, and don't blame her for feeling awkward and not wanting to be friends anymore. But that's beside the point. I have to deal with females on my own because, nobody can help me do that. But I'm just saying, like, why did I bring that up for? Socialize, I guess? Yeah, I guess weirdo sitting there alone, silently, and, like, making yourself feel like, you know, you don't want to talk to, or you don't know, like you're, oh, it was because, oh, it was because I can walk in any of the group, but I don't know how to add to the conversation. I don't know how to add to the conversation. I don't know how to add anything to the conversation. No, I'm not saying it's, I have nothing to contribute, but, like, I'm not a social person who knows how to, like, be social naturally. Because I said to my mother, the Tuesday night of the retreat, I texted my mother and said, natural and organic socialization is a foreign concept to me. She goes, go talk to people. Ask them where they're from. Ask them something about them. Ask them, like, no, your conversation starters are shit, man, woman. God, they're awful. I'm not doing that. She told me a bunch of things, and I'm just like, no, your conversation starters suck. Or your socializing conversations suck. No, mother, that's not me. Because I sent text her another text. I said, that's not me. She goes, well, look, man. She basically said, look, there's nothing I can do about that. I'm giving you the answers. It's like having a test and being like, here are the answers. Use them. Well, no, those are stupid. I don't want them. Well, then, what do you want from me? I'm telling you how to do this. This is how you do this. You don't want it? Too bad. As in, like, you don't want it? Well, nothing I can do about it. Here are the answers. Here's how you do this. I had to go through the same thing. I'm like, you did? And she's like, my mother's like, yes, I did. It's like, oh, wow, well then. But yeah, like, no offense, but like, I'm not you, mother. get to be like me. Get to be like everybody else who had to go through this. All the people who did not want to talk to or socialize or was very awkward, socially awkward, and doesn't know how to do anything, get to it. Because I have PTSD. I have this PTSD of like, I don't want to look like a freak. Why are you in here? Your brother's a weirdo. He walks into a conference. This is back in high school. I'm sure they would say that to my brother. Your brother's a weirdo. He walks into the conversation and then, or into the group and then just sits there, says nothing, and after a few minutes leaves. 5-10 minutes leaves. That's weird. I'm like, and now I realize I'm like, yeah, I don't want to end up like that, especially with the females, especially with girls that I really like. I don't want to end up like that. Oh man, am I terrible at this? I hate this so much. But you know, what are you gonna do? Like my friend said, there's a little bit of this. You just have to go and be social. There's nothing you can do. Here's the answer to your problem. It's like that's not the answer. It's not the only way to do this. But what I'm saying, but he's not wrong when he says you just have to go be social. There's nothing you can do to be more social. No one's going to be social for you. No, and you're not gonna magically one day just gonna like turn and click and you go, oh, now I can do it. Now I'm social. Now I go talk to everybody. Now I'm gonna have friends. No, you have to actually do it. It's feel the fear and do it anyway. That's how you get over the fear. But also you get better at the thing you're afraid of by doing. She's talking about how she hated, hated, she's a teacher and she hated like talking to the students. She was so like public speaking, like, oh gosh. But after doing it for so long, she just kept doing it, like kept on doing it, kept doing it. She eventually got better and she wasn't afraid of it anymore. And the only way to get past the fear is by doing. You're not gonna turn one day magically and go, oh, now I get it. Oh, I get it now. I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna be amazing. You don't sit and stare at a piece of paper with math problems on it and one day go, I have a math degree now. I just get it. Or stare at a screen where you're supposed to, like, where you open up a program and go, some intimidating program, and then go and sit there for days and days and days and days and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and months and months and months and months and years and years and years and years and just go, oh, I get it now. I can use this program now. No, you have to actually do. You could be the best. You can know all the theory for basketball, but if you don't go and go play basketball, you'll never know how to play basketball. You never get good at basketball, right? Where you'll never know how to do this thing, or you'll never get over this being hard, or being like, you know, getting over the fear of it. If you don't do it, get better at what you're doing without doing it. You have to actually get good at doing it. Whereas, like, I can have all the theory, I can do all this stuff, but if I don't just go and be social, I won't get over not being social. The PTSD will never leave me if I don't do it. It's so stupid, but anyway. I think it's gonna be it for now, guys. So, if you want to get in touch with me, there's the Discord. Sorry, well, there is the Discord, but there's the email, tacoimposters@gmail.com. That's tacoimposters@gmail.com. There are the two Discords. And then if you want to contribute, there's the Patreon. That's patreon.com/wingwong. Both W's are capital. That's patreon.com/wingwong. Both W's are capital. There's my music if you want to stream it or buy it. And there's my Etsy shop. So, what? Fine. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Yeah. So, I think it's gonna be it for now, guys. So, adios, mi amigos. Goodbye and God bless.